What's up, guys? Emperador Maximiliano. I'm back with another video. I've been doing a lot of live streams lately, but wanted to do a video for you guys, part of something that you can add to maybe your trading strategy. Maybe it's something that you don't really pay attention to. It could be something new to you, but this is something that I use. It's part of Edgeful's data, of course. I love putting their data behind a lot of my different setups, but this is a setup that I like to trade, and I like to look at the high probability odds in some scenarios. And when that sets up, and it sets up for me early in the morning, it's something that I look for to play out. So I'm going to go through this report, show you guys what it is, what it measures, and then we'll look for a few examples. So I'm on Edgeful's page here. I've already pulled up the report, but just to show you guys how to get there real fast, I am on SPY. I'm using the last 6 months worth of data, and the report's going to be called Outside Days. So it's this report right here, Outside Days. And what that is, when price opens up above, so basically a gap up, when it opens up above the previous day's high. If it's bearish, it opens up below or outside the previous day's low. So here's the quick breakdown. If you ever use Edgeful, you'll see they have breakdowns on every single one of these reports. Pretty simple right here. When price opens above yesterday's high, bullish outside day, bearish outside day when price opens below yesterday's low. So what does that look like? Bullish day, this is the reversal down. This is what we're going to be looking at mostly today. So price is opening up here. We've gapped up. This is yesterday's high. And what we're looking for is a reversal back down to touch yesterday's high. Now, why are we looking for that? Because of the stats right here. 76% of the time, when SPY opens up above the previous day's high, it's going to come back down and touch it. That's pretty strong odds. 76% of the time, I like my odds in that scenario. Now, if you look, the bearish outside day, these odds aren't near as good. So I'm really not going to be focused on the bearish outside days. So if I'm looking for this setup in the morning, and it's pretty easy, I'm going to show you guys how I can kind of scan for it as we get to the opening bell. But if I see a bearish one, I look at this data, and I really don't have any strong conviction either way that we're going to come reverse back or that we're going to continue down, because 58% of the time, a little too close to the middle for me to have strong data odds there. Now, obviously, everything we do in trading is with context, of course. None of this is for any financial advice. Now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at bullish outside day. Now on SPY, I've gone through and I've marked a few examples that I want to show you guys, and then I'll see if I can come back and show you guys some quick ways to find it. So if I'm coming into this day right here, this is back in October. If I'm coming into this day right here, here's my pre-market action here in the blue area. Here's my previous day's action here. I have this indicator from Edgeful. It makes my life easier. Previous day's range. If you have Edgeful, you can get access to these fairly easily. I use this one all the time for a multitude of different things, but it's so easy. It makes my life easier. I don't have to come mark the previous day high, previous day low, because the next day it marks it for me just like that. So what we're looking at here is previous day high. This is this green line right here based on this right here. This was the high of the day. It was right at the open, right? So if I'm looking at this coming into the opening bell, I'm seeing that we are gapping up. But what I'm also seeing is we've opened up above the previous day. So not just where we closed to the gap up, but we're above the previous day's high. So 76% of the time, I'll show you the data again, 76% of the time, at some point, we're going to reverse back to it. And as you see, we did get an initial pop, but then as structure starts to break, we got kind of a bear flag here. And then I see we come through the opening print, boom, there's our target for this data report. If you're in the trade, obviously, you can have further targets, but what we're focusing on here is the 76% chance, or probability, I should say, that we're going to come down and touch that previous day high. Let's take a look at another example. Here's a bearish outside day. Now remember, the stats on the bearish outside day were not near as good. 58% of the time it continues down, 42% of the time it comes back up. It doesn't blow my socks off, right? I'm just not that excited about the data point here. But just so you can see what it looks like, here's our previous day low, our previous day high. Price opens up below previous day low. In this one, continuation downside, right? Continuation downside. So bearish outside day, that one continued down. All right, here's a look at one that happened very fast. previous day high right here. You see the green line right there. We opened up here where I've marked it. This is our opening candle. We immediately came down and touched yesterday's high. That one wasn't that big of one, but that's still part of the stats. And then actually, if you look in this scenario, it essentially became resistance, and then we've accepted back down into this range and traded our way, through most of it, right? All right, let's look for another example. I marked, here's another bearish outside day. So we're coming into the day. We're below the previous day low. We open up here. Once again, continuation down. Now, that's only 58% of the time. I don't care about that. I care about this. This is what I'm looking for as one of my triggers in the morning. So if I'm looking for setups in the morning, or as price opens, right, opening bell, I'm looking for setups. When I see this, I know my odds are very strong. Let's find another example. Here's one that played out very quickly, and I mean rapidly. Previous day highs right here, based on this candle right at the close, actually, because you see we opened here, closed. This is our high. So this is our high for the previous day's range. 76% of the time, if we open above it, we open right here, we're going to come back to it. Boom. Right back to it. Another example here. We open up above previous day high. Look, this was a tight consolidation range. Previous day highs right here. We open up here, boom. As we come down, 76% of the time, we're going to hit this level. Boom, we hit it. We hit it perfectly. That's all the examples I have on SPY. We can look for a couple more. Let me show you how this plays out. First off, if I just turn off the pre-market action, you can kind of see some of this even better. So this right here is where we closed. This is our previous day high. This is where we closed on the Wednesday, the day before. This is where we opened. We come down and we fill that pretty quickly. Here's the other example. We've gapped up. Here's our open. We come back down to the previous day high. Right there, boom, you see the highs. We come back down and get it. Perfect, nice trade there. Let's see if one of these others looked right here. That one happened quick. Once again, we saw that earlier, but you kind of get the idea of how that happens. Let me turn this back to extended trading hours so we can see. And let's watch one of these play out. Let's this one looks like a good one. Let me drop it down. I'm sure some of you use the 5-minute candles, but this one played out rapidly. But when I'm looking coming into the open, I know that this is probably going to come down pretty quickly. If I hit the replay here, and you'll see my indicator as we get close to the open here. So here it is. It's playing out. This is right where the market's going to open, just so you guys have the visual. So right when we get to this area, this is where the market's going to open, where this vertical spot is right here. Now watch what happens when the market opens. These are 5-minute candles. Some of you probably are used to watching those. Here's the market open, boom. It's already marking my previous day high. This is how I see this happen in real time. And boom, it goes all over the place. There, that would have been a quick entry, a quick hitter, but a beautiful trade. Now, sometimes you need to wait for confirmation, right? You want to see something, make sure it happened. You want to make sure that it's not just going to go up against you and you sit and draw down, or maybe it's one of the 24% of the time that it does continue up. So obviously we need some type of confluence there to take the trade. But you see how quickly it plays out. Now, if we look at a couple other tickers, let's go to QQQ. Not as strong as of stats on QQQ, 69% of the time. The other one was 76. That's still basically 7 out of 10 times, right? So 7 out of 10 times bearish outside day, which looks like this right here. Yesterday's high. We open up above it. 69% of the time, we're going to come back down on QQQ. Let's see. Let's look at Microsoft. Okay, I like this on Microsoft. 78% bullish outside day, reversal back down. So on Microsoft, if I'm trading Microsoft or if I'm watching Microsoft, we gap up, we open above the previous day high. 78% of the time, we're coming back down. Let's see what that looks like. Should be able, with that strong of odds, we should be able to find one pretty easily. So let's see. Go back to a 15-minute. Let's see if we can find one. Now, if I'm looking for this, so I don't have these marked, right? So if we're looking for this in the morning, this would be, we're going into the open right here. Once again, the blue kind of purplish area, that's pre-market. The red's after hours. So this day, we're between previous day high and low. Opens right here between, we don't care about, here's one right here. Boom, there's an example right there on Microsoft. Our opening candle is right here, 9:30. Price opened here, it went up, and then we came back down. This is previous day high right there. Boom, 78% of the time that's going to happen. Here's another one. Where did this candle open? Let's see, 9:30. Boom, right there's your open. We opened above the previous day high, which previous day high was basically this opening candle right here, the previous day. Opened up above it. We came back to it 78% of the time. Boom. Came back to it. What other ticker? What's the NVIDIA? NVIDIA is popular, right? Let's see. Wow. So on those other examples we just looked at, the bearish outside day didn't really have any confluence to it. Look at NVIDIA here. NVIDIA is basically the same. So either way, if NVIDIA opens below the previous day low, a bearish outside day, which is going to look like this right here. Opening below yesterday's low, we're opening below it. We're going to come back up and touch it 73% of the time. If we open above it, we're going to come back down 75% of the time. We open above it, 75. Both of these are fairly strong numbers, right? 75, 73% of the time. So NVIDIA, I can look at this from both sides. On SPY, I didn't like the odds. Microsoft didn't really like the odds. NVIDIA, I like these odds. Let's see if we can find you guys a couple quick examples here. NVIDIA, what is all over my chart here? Let me delete some of this stuff just to clean it up. All right. Previous day's low. Where's my opening candle? We're coming into the open. Here's 9:30. Opening candle's right here. And look, the opening candle, we went all over the place, but look, this was, this is today. Today, in this next candle, we went up and touched it immediately. So the stat held true there. This is opening between. This is opening between. Is this the open right here? Yes, it is. So this is a bullish outside day, opening above previous day. Previous day's high is right here, which is from this candle here. Previous day high, open up here, boom, we're gonna come touch that. So we gap up, we close, we open above previous day's range basically, or open below it. On NVIDIA, those are pretty strong odds. Let's see if we get another one. This one was a quick one. Let's see if we can find another. Here's an example. Where did we open? Oh, this one happened immediately. Look at that. Opening candle, boom. And I am on the 15-minute. If we drop down to a 5, maybe some of these look a little bit different. So yeah, look at this. So the 5-minute on this example from today, we came down, but there was still a high chance we were going to come touch this. Whatever this wick was crazy. This was this morning, but we opened here. We should go touch this. We're down here. We should go touch it, right? 75% or 73% of the time on the bearish side, 75% on the other side. Where was the other one? Opening candle, 5-minute. We didn't quite get there. Boom, second 5-minute candle. We get there within 10 minutes of the market opening. That one right at open. Let's see if we can see one more example somewhere. No, we opened in between there. All right, here's an example where it did not happen. So just to be fair, 25% of the time it doesn't happen, right? Now you got to use context and everything. The market was extremely bullish this day. This was the day after the election, I believe. Yeah, day after the election. Extremely bullish market. We opened up above. We never came back and touched. That does happen, right? But only 25% of the time. Look, even on this day, NVIDIA still opened up above the previous day low. Opened up in between. So where's this opening candle? Oh, in between. So that's about as far back as I can go with the indicator without going in through and manually doing it. What's another ticker we can look at? Let's see if anything else just pops out at me. I don't have this pre-rehearsed or pre-recorded. Well, the video is recorded, but I had the SPY examples for you guys, but I wanted to just do this raw so you can kind of see how it happens in the morning. Amazon, I don't really care for these stats a whole lot. What's another ticker? Look at Google. Google on the bearish side, this is pretty decent stats on the bearish side. Apple, not the greatest stats on Apple. I don't know if I showed you guys IWM already, but IWM was very different than the other ones. I think I might have showed you guys earlier in the video. What's another? Meta. Well, what's going on with Meta? There, we got it. Still, this is about the same as QQQ, right? 69% of the time. Just kind of glancing over at my watch list over here just to see which one of these sticks out to me. That's pretty decent on CrowdStrike. I wonder if I can find one that has a high. What about Netflix? Ooh, I like this. Okay, both of these look good. Here's Netflix. This is one of the highest ones I've seen, 83%. If we open up as a gap up above, Netflix is going to come back down and touch it. Let's see if we can find an example on Netflix. Ooh, that one did not quite make it, did it? So this one would be one of the few times that it doesn't. All right, so this was a bearish outside day, but that immediately happened. See if we can find a good one that comes back and touches. There's one. Opens up here, and we come right back into this previous day high. I almost need to go down to the 5-minute to see this sometimes. Let's take a look and see where. There's one that we just saw. Boy, Netflix really likes to open inside the previous. That is interesting. What is this right here? Opening candle. We hit that. That's interesting that Netflix is not something haven't noticed that before, that Netflix rarely gaps much. Huh. This is all bonus. I think you guys have got the idea so far. Interesting. Bullish outside day. It's happened 18 times. I couldn't find that many examples in the last few days, but 18 times. That's interesting over the last 6 months. But yeah, SPY, the main example I was showing you guys, pretty strong statistics there on that bullish outside day. So yesterday's high, we open above it, we're going to come back to it. Plain and simple, right? I really like this. I like looking at this when I'm coming into the day. You guys know I look at a bunch of different stuff. Of course, if you have any questions on these, right here, there's a video on all of these reports. So if you're on Edgeful, go down, watch the video. They're usually short videos. Let's see, this one's 3 minutes, 38 seconds. Pretty short video there explaining to you how to use this report. It's got the visual example for each version too, right? Bullish day, reversal down, continuation. On the bearish day, it's got all of it. Got your frequency of all your stats, when it's happened, and you even have a list of what's been happening recently. So all the times it's actually happened and what the result was recently as well. This is something I watch. Now, of course, I've been showing you guys this what's in play from them. This is just bonus on the end of this video. I love how this plays out in real time and lets me know what's going on, what's happened before. There's some big things coming to this. I am excited about. Honestly, that scenario I just showed you guys is something that I would love to see in this for what's in play. So what's in play is basically what setups are we looking at, and as they've launched this into beta, they've got some preset ones here, right? This is something that I want in the what's in play, the bullish outside days. So if I go back to SPY, this right here, outside days, this is something that when this triggers, I want to know. And I believe there's something in the works there that we may be able to set that up soon, kind of customize our what's in play. We'll see. Like I said, it's in beta. Big things still coming to Edgeful. So make sure you sign up. Obviously, make sure you try it out. I think it's a fantastic service. But anyway, this is something that I personally look for every single morning when it presents itself. I love the stats here. And I can check them too. So if there's a certain stock that I'm watching that's gapped up big time, and maybe you could, just to add one more thought to this, it's not just, hey, you have to play the reversal back down. So like in this instance on SPY, we opened up above the previous day's range. We're in an uptrend, right? So here's some confluence. So we're in an uptrend. We gap up big time. Let me take this off just to make it look cleaner, because I'll be done after this. Boom. Okay. So the context here is SPY's in an uptrend. We have a big gap up overnight, and we open up right here way above the previous day's highs, which we were in a tight range the previous day. But here's the previous day's highs. You see it marked here. This doesn't always have to just be a short. It can also be a trigger long, right? So if I'm looking at this and I know this is probably going to happen, but we're in an uptrend, even if I go to a higher time frame, we're in an uptrend. So overall, the market is in a bullish structure. Maybe I don't want to just try to scalp a short. Maybe I'm looking for somewhere to get long, even if it's intraday. Well, previous day high back test. I know this is probably going to happen at some point. So if this day opens up, right, up here, and I know it's 76% of the time is going to come back to here, what I can do is I can play this, right? Or if I'm not in this, if I'm just watching this play out, I have basically a gap fill here. Boom, look at that. There's the gap fill. So I have gap fill. I have the overnight gap to fill. I have gap fill and I have previous day high. So what I can do is use some different pieces of confluence here. And I can say, okay, bullish structure, I want to get long at some point. Where can I get long from? So there's multiple ways to use the data in your trading, right? So when this comes down, I can say, okay, here's the previous day high. Here's my gap fill as well. The trend is up. We're in a bullish trend. Maybe this is a good spot to try to take a long. And you see, as we hit this previous day high and we have the gap fill down here, boom, we change structure. Let's go down to a smaller time frame. Where are we? There we are. So you can see as we got right here, now I'm going to try to look for some type of confluence to go long, because I knew we were going to come touch this. This doesn't mean we're going to bounce off the previous day high, but it could bounce here, right? But I know I have a gap fill down here. This is a beautiful example of that. If you've seen my other videos or followed along any of my live streams, gap fill is probably my favorite, honestly. I think it's Andre's favorite too, the CEO over there at Edgeful. But here's my confluence, gap fill here, and then I'm looking at these 5-minute candles, tweezer bottom, boom, we push right back up, we push outside. So here's that previous day high, right? We push when it rejected here, right, and came down. We broke back over it, we stayed over it. Now I can look long, and you get a nice move back into this previous resistance area, and then actually by the end of the day you move up. Overnight, who knows what happened? Who knows what happened here? Probably some earnings or something, I'm not sure. But once again, the bigger trend was still to the upside, and I'm looking to get long. So multiple ways to look at confluence, multiple ways to use data, build your strategy, but with probabilities and data in your favor, no matter how you do it. I'll drop a link to Edgeful down below. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you follow and subscribe my YouTube channel. Follow me on X as well. Got some big things working in the streaming side of things as well. So looking forward to that, and hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to close this video out now, and we will see you guys next time.